Ready. Play.
I think, is there anything else you want to say about the draw before we maybe get into a little bit of predictions territory now, Mert?
No, I think we've covered just about all the nitty-gritty stuff.
All right, nitty-gritty. All right, so I'm going to see if I can remember what you've said so far. So your kind of semi-final setup so far, you've got Sabalenka or Keys against Linda Noskova in the first semi-final, and then the second semi-final being most likely Jessica Pegula against, I'm going to guess, Aryna Sabalebka.
Yes, no, Jessica Pegula is wait, Pegula is not in the same section as Rybakina.
No, this
right?
would be a semi-final.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're calling the semifinal. Yes, Pegula, Rybakina would be my call. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to make a call on whether it's going to be Sabalenka or Keys in the semifinals?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Sabalenka because I believe she has a 50.2% chance versus 49.8 of Keys.
Yeah, that's going to be the match of the quarterfinals if it happens.
So yes, to give an answer, I'll go with Sabalenka there.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, for me, it's pretty tough. I think I'm going to go a little bit contrary to you a little bit, not to be deliberate, but because I think I think Wimbledon, you need to pick, if you're going to make predictions, you just go with the theme of go for the most surprising ones you can think of. And I'm going to say semi-final one is going to be I'm going to put Madison Keys in there.
Okay.
I think she's the ultimate kind of outside of Sabalenka and Rybakina, because everyone's obsessed with those two at the minute. Then my semi-final pick, just because that section is so crazily open, I'm going to say that she's going to play Diana Schneider in the second semi-final, and then in the first semi-final, and then the second semi-final, I think it's going to be between. I'm going to say I think it's going to be between Emma Navarro and Aryna Sabalebka.
Very good, very solid picks.
I like Navarro.
It's very possible. Yes. We both pick, I think, a little bit of an outsider to make the semifinal in the second, in the bottom half of the top draw. You'd picked Schneider, and I picked Noskova, but I think the other three are very reasonable picks from both your side and my side, and let's see how it turns out. Yes, this will be we could be sitting here, Nick, in about 5 or 6 days, and wondering if there's a way to delete this section of this recording.
Nothing. Look. I'm used to putting out daft picks, and
Yeah, me too.
Horribly wrong. I think, what was it? I can't remember what I picked to win. It was like a Masters tournament, and they crashed right out the tournament first round. I do remember picking Simona Halep to win the 2022 US Open, and that was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah.
And I think I picked Rybakina to win Miami this year.
Well, okay, but I've done many of those too. I'm not going to mention them one by one, but you're not alone by any means.
I'm more putting this out there so nobody places a bet based on what I've said, and then comes the after me. So I said, no, you do really have a terrible track record.
Yes, me too.
But I did get Goff winning the French. I will pride myself in doing that.
Yeah, I only did that after the semifinals were determined. So I certainly didn't pick her in the very beginning. So you're a step ahead on that one.
I did pre-tournament. So let me guess then, based on what we've said, are you going for a Sabalenka Rybakina in the final? And out of the two of them, which is the favourite? Because whichever you pick as being the favourite for Wimbledon out of those two, and let's face it, most people would struggle to argue with one of those two being the ultimate favourite. It feels like it's Sabalenka with the results and the grass court, the results and the recent history, versus Rybakina with her overall potential on grass. And which one you pick is going to be based on which you value the most.
I think I'm going to go to answer your question directly. I will have a caveat to that, though. But to answer your question directly, in that setup that you just mentioned, I'm going to go with Rybakina as the ultimate winner on grass, because I do think that Rybakina is the closest thing we have on the WTA side among the elites to a fabulous grass court player. Let's put it that way. And so I'm picking Rybakina. But I will say this, Nick, if Noskova really does make it to the semifinals, I'm sticking with her.
Oh,
yes,
you think Noskova to win the title?
If she makes it to the semifinals, yes, I will feel strongly that she has a chance to pull the ultimate upset here.
Wimbledon does like its breakthrough checks. That seems to be what's happening the last few years.
It's a long shot. It's a long shot. I would not recommend anybody to, again, we're not talking. I don't talk whatsoever about betting, but yeah, if she makes it to the semifinals, I'm going to stick with her.
I like it. Yeah, I think it's tough. So here's the thing. So on the Sabalenka-Rybakina thing, I think if they were to play in the final, I would back Rybakina because Rybakina has never lost to Sabalenka in straight sets. So I will always give Rybakina a chance at any time they play. And on grass, I agree with you. It switches to her. And I think she was somewhat unfortunate to lose the Berlin quarterfinal that they played.
Yes, I did not get to see that, unfortunately. But I heard that the third set was some of the best tennis that we've seen this year. Yeah,
it was incredible. It was such a good match. And Rybakina had 4 match points at 6-2 in the deciding set tiebreak. Lost the first one on a dead net cord from Sabalenka. 2 great Sabalenka.
You're kidding me. That net cord? Okay, wow.
Dead net cord favoring Sabalenka, got it to 6-3. Sabalenka then hit 2 incredible shots. I can't remember exactly what they were, but I do remember her basically taking control and winning the next 2 match points. And then Rybakina concedes it with 3 consecutive errors.
Yeah. Wow.
So that would be it. So, but I think it was a little bit of unfortunateness there, / Sabalenka being a brilliant when she needed to be. But I actually, again, with the theme of Wimbledon being a little bit unexpected, but being me, I can't not have a little bit of prior data in there to go for it. I am going to say that I am actually going to back Madison Keys to be the Wimbledon champion at the end of this.
Okay.
I think she's proving herself to maybe be the best slam player this year, potentially.
Yes.
And that would add a very different complexion on the season if we walk away suddenly with Madison Keys with 2 Grand Slam trophies. It's very close between her, Sabalenka and Rybakina for me. They're almost tied. But
no, it's a very reasonable pick. Madison Keys is a very reasonable pick.
Yeah, but I'm going for chaos. As much chaos as I will dare to go for. You going for Noskova, you are a braver man than I. Provided.
Yeah, I think I'm the one going for chaos in that case rather than you. But again, Noskova would have to make it to the semifinals for me to be really. I don't know if she'll face Sabalenka, but at that point, I'm not getting off the Noskova horse. But Sabalenka and Rybakina would be the more reasonable final, or even Madison Keys versus Rybakina would be the more reasonable final to pick. Yeah.
Watch Iga Swiatek beat Rybakina on grass. And
yes.
Everyone's talking about her being like, oh, could she win this?
yes. But again, it's just a really unfortunate draw that Swiatek and Rybakina are to face each other so early in the tournament. Of course, this is assuming that they both make it that far in the round of 16s. That's just so early.
But yeah, that will be I think that's going to be the highlight match of the 4th round if it happens. And yeah, I think I might end up changing my tune if Swiatek beat Rybakina, because then I'd be like, oh, maybe. But then it'd depend if Keys and Sabalenka were still in the draw. Yeah,
that's another thing too, Nick. I mean, we say a lot of things now, but watching first couple of rounds tell you a lot about the form of players or how they perform, in the beginning of the tournament, and if they're physically fit or not. And then a lot of things can change. So yeah, I agree with you.
All right, I think we've thoroughly dissected the draw and then basically gone with, oh, who knows how it's all going to work out. That seems to be the overall theme of this.
That's our theme.
So many players. So I'm looking forward to wrapping all this up 2 weeks from now when we do the WTA Weekly Show after Wimbledon, and congratulating Aryna Sabalebka on her title.
There you go. With a one-handed backhand. Yes.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.